All right, so excited to have a quick session with Jing Wang So. She graduated from our Sutton Capital program, and she did get a placement at a venture fund as an associate. So the fund's name was Cathay Innovation. So Jing Wen, tell us a little bit about, how our program helped you get that job, and then, tell us a little bit about the fund, kind of like their sector focus
Hmm.
and their investment committee, how that runs, and then maybe some advice that you have for people that are trying to break in, and maybe if they take our program, how they should use our program to get that full-time job in VC or private equity.
Yeah, of course, I'd love to. So I joined the Sutton Capital program my sophomore fall, and prior to that, I had a very basic level knowledge of VC. I just thought that people would come in with money and then invest it into startups, and then that would kind of be it. But the program kind of taught me that there are so many more intricacies to the whole process, and I was able to learn about like the step by step in the whole deal process, some of the key terminologies, the different stages that you could invest in VC, but also apply all that knowledge into actually doing some due diligences and being at some investment committees while being in the Sutton program. So as I was doing that, I was also applying for internships for my sophomore summer and eventually got one at Cathay Innovation. And so this is a Sino-French venture capital firm that just started their office in Singapore to look over the Southeast Asia region. And for that office, we were mainly focused on B2B SaaS investments in the Series A to B region. So coming into the internship, it was a pretty small office. So I was given a lot of responsibility from day one. And I think that the Sutton Capital program helped me overcome that really steep learning curve because I knew like the terminologies, I knew what was going on. When my boss told me that I was going to sit on an IC, I was like, okay, I know what an investment committee kind of looks like, kind of operates. And so when I was on a live deal, I helped do the due diligence, look into some like key metrics, the competitors, and so on, which I had experience after doing Sutton Capital's program, and eventually sat in the IC for that as well. It was meant a lot to me because we were investing in another Cornell alumni, and the investment eventually went through. So I'm very happy to see that
Oh, nice. So you
I
led
kind
an
of
entire
tracked.
deal, actually,
Yeah,
from the
so I actually
beginning to
got to
end.
see the deal from
Yeah,
the second due diligence, like the very final section where we did the really deep dive into the
yeah.
company. And I mainly took over like the competitor analysis and like the product map, roadmap pipeline kind of analysis. And yeah, super, super cool experience. After doing that internship, kind of solidified the fact that I do want to work in VC in Southeast Asia in the future. So I'd say like taking the Southern program definitely shaped my career trajectory a lot. And for now, I'm doing investment banking in New York City, but that's just kind of a launch pad for hopefully other things I'll do and learn a bit more about the finance side before going into VC. Yeah, so to wrap it off, I guess in terms of advice I have for future students wanting to take the program, definitely like definitely like go for it. I came in with little to no knowledge about VC, and it was a steep learning curve while doing the program. I think was really fulfilling because I came out with an understanding of the VC industry, but also the industries that I was doing due diligence for. I would highly recommend. I think the more time you put into it, the more you get out of it as well. So make sure that you have the time to like commit to the program as well.
Mhm. Yeah, now you have a full-time job at an investment bank. So, we also
Mhm.
teach banking and, private equity as well from our program. So
Mm.
I guess what aspects of our program helped you with the investment banking side, I guess, because we did a lot of financial modeling,
Mhm, mhm,
a lot of, cash flow statements, looking
mhm,
at
mhm.
financials. What would you recommend people in our program to hone in on as they also want to maybe explore, maybe do some venture, do some investment
Yeah.
banking and private equity, and then tell us a little bit about now your full-time role at Nomura doing banking. Like what industries you guys
Mhm.
focus on?
Yeah. So at Nomura, I'm doing investment banking, M&A advisory. So
Mhm.
I am focused on the M&A product, but I am agnostic across different sectors. And that's what I'm really looking for because I enjoy this strategic aspect of M&A when you're advising a client, you don't only look at the financials, you also think about the strategic aspect and know who they want to acquire. And on the other hand, I think the reason why I loved VC so much was because it gave me that overview of a lot of different industries I could like look at consumer one day and then go to tech another day. And I think being industry agnostic within banking also allows me to do that. I think if you're interested in learning about both VC and banking, definitely look at companies maybe later stage when you're doing due diligence, because they often have more built out financial statements. And in that case, you can do a little more rigorous analysis. And
Yeah.
because they are fully fledged companies, they might have like less line items on their statements, or like
Mhm.
less little numbers you need like tweak around. So it's a good starting point for you to start analyzing those statements. I'd also think about like the strategic aspect. So as like a VC investor, how does this company line up with your investment thesis? Because that often happens in M&A advisory as well. You want to think about if this acquisition makes sense for your client, and vice versa if you're advising a company that's wanting to sell itself.
Yeah, and I think with your now new background in banking after our program and also the internship, if you still have interest in VC, there's a lot of people that go into late stage VC or private equity or growth equity, where you kind of have to look at a lot of those granular financial statements, but you're also still evaluating founders at the later stage. So I think your complementary, early stage experience in VC and now more on the granular financial modeling side with banking, I think that could definitely tee you up for probably some late stage or growth equity.
Yeah, and actually at Cornell, so now I'm doing a graduate program in MPS. And so I joined Big Red Ventures, the Cornell Venture Fund. So helping them continue to do like due diligence and still getting myself involved in the VC space, so that hopefully I have like a foot in when I try to enter it again after doing banking.
Yeah, sure. Well, hey, congrats on everything. Glad to hear all the successes in your career, and great to catch up. Hopefully we get to hang out in New York, maybe at the Cornell Club.
Yes, I'll let you know when I'm in the city, and
Sure.
hopefully we can meet with like the other alumni.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime any of the alumni are around, happy to catch up, and we'll see you soon, and safe travels for the
I'll let
holidays.
you know.
All
Thanks,
right.
Joel. Have a
Take
good
care.
winter.
Yep. Take care. Bye.